Okay, Push Pull, song written by Brett Owsley. I didn't even know that song existed. I just heard this talk of Brett kept saying this push pull thing. I think that we had this initial get together and it was discussed between Eric Brown and Brett Owsley, and maybe my impression is that he played a little of the song and then you guys just kind of had a little woodshedding where you came up with some vocals or something, and that turned into something that Brett was really interested in pursuing. He kept coming back to this. We got to do this push pull thing. I didn't even know what it was. And then he played it for me the first time. And unlike a lot of songs, every file I get has a robo drummer on it, usually. And sometimes that's a great template. And usually the robo drummer is pretty much what most drummers would sit down and along the lines of a beat that you would play to a song, because it's just the way music happens, unless you're somebody who's totally unorthodox and out of the box. I don't know that describes me. But when I heard it, I thought, wow, what a really cool beat. And so what I did was I just emulated the robo drummer, more or less. And once again, a fairly simple linear tune, and has a ton of synthesizer parts, and there's a lot of interesting things going on with all of the other players and the parts that they added. So I couldn't do a whole lot. You don't want to saturate the music with a bunch of drum nonsense that's not necessary. So I was able to just jam out this long, sort of hypnotic dance beat groove that was it was easy to play, and it was easy for me to get into. And I sort of, when you play things like that as a drummer, to me, you sort of fall into a trance. And that's what happened playing that song. I absolutely loved recording it. I think we did it in 3 or 4 takes. Every time Matt said, "Do you want to do it again?" I said, "Well, absolutely, sure," because it was fun for me. I was having a great time doing it. And the result was this hypnotic song, and it goes on and on and on. And I've heard some feedback that that it's maybe too long, needed to be truncated. I love it in its original length, just because of that hypnotic rhythm that just goes on. And especially if I'm driving or whatever, I find myself, I'll play it over 3 or 4 times in a row just because I get into it that much.